Well, we're back in Copenhagen now, this time for Christmas.
Dear Christmas, I want you so.
I'm here for the final video of the year and to do a bit of monochrome street photography and to wrap up some of my photos from the year gone by, 2025. Full disclaimer, I'm still doing this on my own, and as usual, I've made chapters down here so that you can pick and choose what you want to watch. I lived here in Copenhagen twice for almost 4 years in total, so I do know the city, but I'm no expert. And we only have around 8 hours today, so it will be a brief tour. This is a site I've seen on several YouTube videos about Copenhagen. It's the Axel Towers, only a couple of 100 meters away from the train station. So if you find yourself passing through, and you've got a few minutes to spare, and you want to make a YouTube video from Copenhagen, this is the place to go. This is Rådhuspladsen, or Town Hall Square, City Hall Square, and you can find a lot of people and a lot of doves here. And at night there's a lot of light from the buildings over there, but I personally find it a little bit boring. The tower behind me is a little less famous than the Elizabeth Tower, also known as Big Ben in London, but it's actually 10 meters taller. Way to go, Copenhagen. This is Christiania. It's an old military installation and part of the former defense works of Copenhagen. It was occupied by squatters more than 50 years ago. They wanted a more liberal and cheaper place to live in Copenhagen. Only a few years ago, there were places here you couldn't photograph. The drug dealers would kick your ass. Now the drug dealers are gone, but there are still people here that doesn't like to be photographed. So mind your manners and be sure to ask before you focus on any individuals. It's not my style of living, but I like to go here to experience the atmosphere and photograph. Maybe have a cup of coffee or something to eat. I've had the opportunity to photograph several fantastic sports events this year. I started off with photographing the Danish Ice Swimming Championships in Harbour in January, and it was a lot of fun. Despite the cold conditions, the warm and friendly atmosphere was fantastic. This photograph is taken with a somewhat slow shutter speed of 1/400th of a second, but I just managed to capture the perfect balance between blurry movement and the eye in focus. I also had the pleasure of participating in the National Gymnastics and Sports Festival in Vejle. It was amazing, 4 days surrounded by smiling and kind people. The friendly smile of this young man participating in a big Nordic gymnastics show and captures a lot of the atmosphere at the event. Late this summer I went to Aarhus to photograph roundnet, also known as spikeball. It's impossible to choose one photo as the best from those 2 incredible days. But this photo says a lot about the event. Everyone was just smiling all the time. I think the reason these 3 photos are my favorites from this year, it's not so much about the subjects or the technical stuff, but the atmosphere I encountered everywhere I went. It was just many days of photographing glad people having fun. I got here late and it's getting dark now, but I still have some hours before I need to go back. This year, I also got into monochrome photography. I was given an irresistible offer on a Leica Q2 Monochrome, and I've had a lot of fun with that camera. I like the way it forces my mind into thinking about light and shadow and contrast. I brought it with me to a recording studio where the band Luciani had to record an album. This is one of the many photographs from there, and I really like it. Just a few days ago, I had to go with my family to my sister-in-law to eat dinner. And I went out on the streets of Odense for a short walk, and I got this fun photo. I like the look of the contrast and the face appearing on the right. This summer I also visited Christiania, and I got talking with this young man from Hamburg, and I asked him for a photo. I like the look of him and his dog, the contrast, for example, between the white dog and the black bag. The Leica Monochrome actually has got me talking with a lot of people, and that might even be the best part of getting that camera. It's only 5 o'clock, but it's the shortest day of the year, so it's definitely dark now. This is Copenhagen Harbour, and there are many interesting photo opportunities here, but it's quite deserted and dark during winter. so I'd recommend coming here during the summertime. Besides sport and monochrome, I've also spent a lot of time this year with the band Lujani. I'm a part-time teacher and the lead singer, Carl August, is one of my colleagues. I think I might have more photos of Carl August than of my wife. Lujani let me tag along and also let me experiment with my cameras, which of course has got me a lot of great photos. For example, this one taken at a music competition a couple of months ago. At the previously mentioned National Gymnastics and Sports Festival in Vejle, I also had the opportunity to photograph music performances and other cultural events. I was invited on stage by composer and singer Rasmus Skov Boring, and I got this cool shot. It was a bit nerve-wracking standing behind him in front of thousands of people, but it was a lot of fun. The drummer in the band Lujani, Jacob, turned 40 this year, and he held a big birthday festival and invited me along with my cameras. At the party, I had the opportunity to photograph Christian Key and his band. They're amazing performers, and Christian is a very talented composer and musician. You should definitely check him out on your audio streaming service. This is Nyhavn, or New Harbour. It's a beautiful part of Copenhagen, but it's also very crowded. But I do find it fun to come here mainly to photograph the tourists, more than the site itself. My street photography this year has mainly been with my Leica Q2 Monochrome. But I have had the chance to play around with, for example, my TT Artisan 250mm mirror lens. It's a different lens, but I like the photos it gets me. For example, this one from the Harbour here in Copenhagen, taken on a warm and bright summer evening. Or this one from Odense, very early this year with a low-hanging winter sun. I've also done some long exposure night photography with other lenses. And if I can find the time for it, it would be fun to do more of that in 2026. I'm at Amalienborg, and it might be one of the most photographed sites in Copenhagen, except for perhaps a Little Mermaid, which isn't far from here. Going here by daytime, especially at noon when there's a change of guard, it's completely crowded, but I find it more interesting to come here at night. The king and his family only live here part-time though, but he has his office here. And the guards here are actually allowed to answer questions briefly. Hvor lang tid er jeres vagter her? Er I på i 24 timer? Eller får I lov til at komme ind og... But perhaps if they're too dumb, they choose not to. Klør de der bukser meget? Hvorfor er den bedste pizza i København? Kan du få din hue i andre farver? This is Kongens Nytorv, or the King's New Square, and it's also very crowded. But the Leica store is less than 100 meters away, so if you go there and buy a new camera, this might be a good place to start taking your first photos with it. Well, this was my short tour of the more touristic parts of Copenhagen, but we've not even scratched the surface. There are a ton of buildings and museums and neighborhoods you can photograph, and also a lot of historic sites and defense works if you're into that. I've been privileged to participate in some nice events and had a lot of fun with my camera in 2025. I still have a lot to learn and test out in 2026, but that's exactly what's appealing to me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider hitting the like button and perhaps subscribe as well. As usual, I've saved a few of my top picks till the very end, so do stick around a few moments more. Only around 15% watch us till the very end, but I like that part, so I'll keep doing it. I do wish you a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year. See you in 2026.